Hello gamers, today we present to you the top 5 adventure games released on mobile. Before watching the video, put a like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the video. Blade & Soul Revolution, an online game with a size of 2.7 GB, available on Android and iPhone. Blade & Soul Revolution is the mobile adaptation of the popular Korean MMORPG Blade & Soul, a game from NCSOFT, the studio responsible for other renowned MMORPGs including Lineage 2 and Ion. In this case, the game has also been specifically developed for mobile devices, with all this entails. Before you start playing Blade & Soul Revolution, you can create your avatar, and for this, you'll find a wide range of possibilities. You can choose between several completely different character classes, and of course you can customize the look of your character however you want, choosing from dozens of faces, body types, hairstyles and outfits. As usual for the genre, the controls in Blade & Soul Revolution are partially automatic. This means that you can tap on the mission that you have to complete and your character will automatically carry it out, whatever it may be. Although you can also directly control your character and fight manually if you prefer. Best of all, the combats are spectacular with fluid animations and colorful magic effects. Blade & Soul Revolution is an outstanding MMORPG in every respect. One of the best things about the game, without a doubt, is the fantastic graphics, but that's definitely not the only great thing the game has to offer. The story, characters and settings are also equally impressive. Dawn of Isles, an online game with a size of 2.2 GB, available on Android and iPhone. Dawn of Isles is a 3D MMORPG set in a fantasy world. In this game, you explore enormous scenarios however you want, interacting with hundreds of characters, collecting tons of resources and fighting against all kinds of monsters in real time. Before you begin playing, you create your own character by choosing from 4 different classes: warrior, explorer, dancer and mage. You can also change the way your character looks down to the smallest detail. You can start traveling between the world's different islands, and that's where the adventure begins. From then on, you can also interact with other players and ask for help completing especially difficult missions. Dawn of Isles is an outstanding MMORPG with production value that's truly amazing for a smartphone game. It's an epic game with sublime graphics that can hold its own with desktop games, plus an exciting setting. The combat system is also much more complex and fun than in other games in this genre. The Academy: The First Riddle, an offline game with a size of 800 MB, available on Android and iPhone. The Academy: The First Riddle is an adventure and puzzle game that puts you in control of Sam, a young student who's new to the Academy. This place is a legendary school that has always attracted the most active and brilliant minds but hides more than one dark secret. The Academy: The First Riddle's control system is perfectly suited for touchscreens. With your left thumb, you can move your character, and with the right thumb, you can control the camera. In the Academy: The First Riddle, you have to face more than 200 different puzzles, each different from the last and usually with different mechanics. The variety of puzzles is spectacular, so every time you face one, you can enjoy a new experience. All of these puzzles are also perfectly connected to the story of the game itself, which you'll discover little by little. The Academy: The First Riddle is the first episode of this fascinating puzzle adventure. The game also has a wonderful visual section, which is just as good as other titles for PCs and consoles. The Wolf Among Us, an offline game with a size of 700 MB, available on Android and iPhone. The Wolf Among Us is a graphic adventure game structured in episodes, developed by Telltale Games, The Walking Dead, and based on the comic book Fables by Bill Willingham. Winner of more than a dozen international prizes, in The Wolf Among Us, you play the role of Bigby Wolf, the tough sheriff of Fable Town, as in other Telltale games. You can move your character freely through the settings and interact with different elements, although the most important thing will be the dialogue and the resulting consequences of your actions. One of the new things in The Wolf Among Us is that different decisions won't just change the course of the story, but also the time at which events take place. The game's story can thus take several different routes. As expected, The Wolf Among Us has excellent graphics, practically identical to those of the PC or console versions. The soundtrack and dubbing are also great.
God damn you! Know who I am
Whoa,
now,
whoa, hey,
don't
hey!
You've got something on your face.
fuck are you talking about, you stupid? I'll fucking kill you!
All right, why'd you...
Playdead's Inside, an offline game with a size of 750 megabytes, available on iPhone only. Discover Playdead's unique indie adventure game Inside, a dark, narrative-driven platformer combining intense action with challenging puzzles. It has received critical acclaim for its moody art style, ambient soundtrack and unsettling atmosphere. Inside expands on the concepts and scope of its predecessor in wildly creative ways. And it's so immaculately designed and constructed from top to bottom that it almost feels suitable for display in an art museum. This is one hell of a follow-up. Gorgeous art and animations, devious puzzle design and a pitch-black sense of humor.